Yes, good morning dear students. Again welcome back to the science class. We are moving to the third part of the life courses. And today we are going to discuss about alimentary canals of human beings, as well as we can also call it as human digestive system. So here what we need to understand, we have understood autotrophic nutritions and we are moved on to the heterotrophic nutritions, right? So under that, the important topic is your alimentary canal. How the digestive system or how the digestion is going to be happen in your body. So carefully listen. So you are watching the diagrams called alimentary canal systems of human beings, right? And I have told you there is so many enzymes which is going to be work in your body. Similarly, like we are taking different kinds of foods. What kinds of foods we are taking? So all of you know this. So there is a carbohydrates, fats, lipids, minerals and nutrients, cereals, okay, also spicy. So there are a lot of different kinds of varieties of foods we can also take in. Also you understand there is a types of organisms called as herbivorous as well as carnivorous and omnivorous, right? What is this herbivorous? These herbivorous is nothing but the organism only depends on the plants, or the plant eaten organisms is called as herbivorous. Okay? What is this carnivorous? The carnivores are mainly eating only by hunting of other animals. Okay, so how this digestion system is varied compared to this autotrophics as well as heterotrophics is the most important topic. Okay, so look at this. This is what the human digestive system, which is same as looking like our body. Okay, so what is the important things which we need to understand is nothing but, so all of you know from the previous class I have told you, so the food is taken to your mouth. Okay, there is a one tube or a one canal system is present in your body. So where the oxygen or the breathing or respiration is also taken place in a same tubes, as well as the food is also taken in a same tube. Understand? Hence that tube is called as esophagus. Okay, and this esophagus helps you to absorb or carry over all kinds of foods into the stomach directly. So what happens in the stomach? I have told you in the stomach there is a enzymes present called HCl. Okay, this HCl is nothing but hydrochloric acid. So what is the functions of the hydrochloric acid? So hydrochloric acid is an acid. It's a strong acid. When we are talking about acids and bases, you will definitely understand why this HCl is play an important role in the human digestive system. Okay, so that much of importance which is given by the HCl. So HCl is nothing but hydrochloric acid which makes the smoothen and soften the food materials we are intaking, as well as it also moderate the acidic medium. So sometimes you guys are feeling very undisturbed, very disturbed with regarding your food. Sometimes you feel like irritations in the stomach, as well as you feel burning sensations in the stomach. So why does this happen? Because there is no food which is taken in the body, hence the HCl gas is liberating more and more. Once the HCl gas is liberated more and more, so there is a causing acidity. All of you know this. Why this acidity is occurs in your body? Because you must take a regular food to your stomach. Because your body as well as your stomach, each and every parts of the body will be working as a machineries. For a machinery, once you switch off it, so the machinery will be stopped. Or machine, any kinds of machine will be stopped. Once you switch on, the machine will be start. But this is not like this. After the last breath is going to stop until the entire process is going to be continuously work here. There is no switch off. Switch off is nothing but what? Until the last breath. So until the last breath, what happens here? Process is continuously working. There is no there is no any other guidance to follow this, or else you cannot stop like as it is, whatever you are telling from your mouth. You cannot say stop and you cannot say start. It is a voluntary actions. Now we are talking about HCl. HCl is helpful to moderate the acidic medium performed in a stomach. So after that, so every food which is present in a stomach is not completely digested. As well as we know, there is a 30 to 40% of food we can chewing and we can also breaking. Okay, and then pass out the food to this esophagus, and then there is a again 40. So 30 plus 40 is 70. So the 40% of food is going to be digested, where the complex food materials is start to be break down into smaller and smaller pieces. Okay, with the help of enzymes called HCl. Not only this HCl, look at this, there is a pepsin enzymes. There is an enzyme which is present in your body is called as a pepsin. The pepsin is also helpful to smoothen and soften the food along with the HCl. Understand? So what is this enzyme? So enzyme is nothing but it's a kinds of chemical which helpful to make the action very fast. Understand? So hence we need some kinds of enzymes or a fluid that should be secreted in a different kinds of the body. You all understand? Okay? And then next, after the food is moderately digested in the stomach, so the food is going to be passed from the stomach to the small intestine. So look at this diagram. There is a small intestine. This is a small intestine. After the small intestine, there is a large intestine. Okay. So what happens in the small intestine? The small intestine is a very important tissue. So that is what we call it as it is a sphincter muscles. That means it will be expand. So how like if you just fill the air inside the balloon, it start to be expand, right? So similarly, stomach is the largest organs in the body, but the smallest intestine is the very longest organs of the body. Understand? It can also expand. So different kinds of food you will be taking, right? So that all kinds of food should be go inside the smaller intestine. It provides the space to all kinds of foods, right? So every food is easily goes into the small intestine and it provides you space. Okay, so like how you people are walking or running in a running race or else in a ground, when we just allow you to go to the ground, all of you jump yourself, right? And we are call you to assemble at a particular place. Everybody will come and stand in a particular place, and you will be provide a space for the next to next person. Yeah, will be provide a space. Yeah, stand here. Okay, go back. Go to left and go to right. So these all kinds of exercise which is going to be happens in the case of human body is in a small intestine. So it provides the spaces for all kinds of food. So yes, every kinds of food you just intake whatever the foods if you like to eat, everything will be intaken. So that all spaces will be provided in a small intestine. And the small intestine is the largest organs in a body or largest part of the stomach. So what happens in the smallest or smaller intestine? Small intestine is produce enzymes or fluids called intestinal juice. Okay, so this intestinal juice, okay, which is secretes, which is also helpful to smoothen and soften the food. What kinds of food will be smoothened? There is a carbohydrates and fat. So kinds of carbohydrates and fats can also be digested in our body with the help of the secretions of liver and pancreas. Where is the livers and pancreas are present? Look at the structure here. And this is the small intestine. Okay, and look at this is a liver. You are going to be, this is what? A liver. Okay, and these kinds of, look at this, sorry, this is a liver. Whatever you are going to see, it's a liver part. So where the liver, the bile juice. So in a liver also there is a secretions of enzyme. It's called bile juice. The bile juice is also contains bile salt. The bile salt, what is the functions of the bile salt? It is helpful to convert again the fats So we are intaking different kinds of foods like carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins and fats, everything. So whereas in the case of the liver, the bile juice is secretes, the functions of the bile juice is converts the fat. Okay, or this carbohydrates is converted, also fat is also converted. So there is an emulsification process is happening. So like how you are taking the soaps, okay, and try to wash. If you add any kinds of oil to your hands, so if you add waters, that oily forms or emulsified is not possible. So what you have to do? You should add some jelly like soaps or detergent should be washed your hands or a cloth. So the process of away or moving or removing the oils like fats from your hands. So is nothing but emulsifications of soap. After you added the soap, then you add the waters, then your hand will be clean. Similarly, this emulsification process which is happening in the case of small intestine. The small intestine is emulsify the fats and makes your stomach as well as small intestines will be clean. Then you can take again any kinds of foods. So this process is continuous. There is no pauses which is provided. Because hence the day-to-day activities which is going on easily because of these all kinds of process which is happening. So hope you all understand your story. And not only that, so there is emulsifying acts and this is a formatted as a soaps as well as dirt. And look at this, the trypsin is a one kinds of organisms, one kinds of enzymes which is digest the proteins in a stomach. Okay, and protein is also present in your food, right? So that is going to be digested with the help of trypsin. So these kinds of enzymes will help you to make the digestion easier and easier. So, but you should imagine the digestion process is not so easy. It is not like when you are adding all the recipes and try to mix with your mixie jar. So, in a mixie jar also there is a technical devices. You have to switch on it. But in your day-to-day life, the body has to be switched on regularly. If it is fast, there is no protection and there is no healthy body which is taken place. Okay. Now, the another organisms or another enzymes call it as lipase. So, what is the functions of lipase? Lipase is the enzymes which is also helpful to breaking down the fat along with the liver and bile juice. Okay, and then I have told you finally all kinds of vitamins, proteins and fats that should be digested with the help of these kinds of enzymes. At the end what happens? Again the small intestine, at the wall of the small intestine, look at this small intestine. At the wall of the small intestine there is a juice is secretes and liberate or release. So that juice is called as intestinal juice. Okay, so that intestinal juice is helpful to convert protein into amino acids. Okay, or we can also say that, so finally the carbohydrate is converted into glucose. This is at the end of the stage. Finally the carbohydrate is converted into glucose. Okay, and the fat is converted into fatty acids. So this is what exactly the digestion which is going to be happens in our body. Okay, so the diagram which is going to be asking in your examination for 3 marks. Okay, and whatever the enzyme which we have listed out here like HCl, pepsin, trypsin, lipase, okay, and bile juice, pancreatic juices, intestinal juices. So these all helpful to become a digestion very easily. Understand? So and then what happens? Finally what happens? The carbohydrate is converted into glucose. Okay, and fats are converted into amino acids. What happens to the rest of all? So rest of all which is moved on to the larger intestine. What is the functions of the larger intestine? So the larger intestine which is absorb all kinds of the fluid or water contents or the liquid forms present in it and try to absorb it. Rest of all, wastages which is moving with the help of the anus. Okay, and the wastages like urea, uric acids, okay, and salts wastages are removed with the help of the urinary bladders. That we will be studying excretions. Okay, and that process is called excretions. This is what you need to understand in a digestion. One more important thing you need to understand. Yes, of course, digestion is same compared to animals as well as human beings. But you know how it is happening in a case of herbivores as well as carnivores. So in a herbivorous, only plants can be eaten. But in carnivores, even the meat-eating animals or the hunting animals eat, digestion is also most important. Then what is happening in the case of herbivores? In the case of herbivores, there is a plant. So the digestions of plants like cellulose is very difficult. Okay, hence the small intestine is longly present in the case of herbivores. Like you see an example like giraffe, elephant, okay, and then cow, okay, and zebra, and deer. So any different kinds of herbivorous plants, you can list out examples later. And these herbivorous organisms are animals which having a larger, smaller intestine. So this will be asking in your examination for 2 marks. So why the herbivorous organisms or animals which have a larger, smaller intestine? Why it is not possible in the case of human beings? So why? Because for a herbivorous, the smaller intestine is longer and longer because the digestions of cellulose are at plants. Okay, like cellulose, it's very difficult. Understand? Hence, there is a smaller intestine is longer present in the case of herbivorous. Okay, then let's come to the carnivorous. The carnivorous is nothing but meat-eating animals or hunting animals. So these hunting animals can digest a meats, okay, meat food, meat kinds of food very easily. It is very easy to digest meat kinds of animals or meat kinds of foods. Hence, the carnivorous, which is having a small intestine. Okay, small intestine is very small in carnivorous and small intestine is very large in herbivorous. And this is what you need to understand from this today class. Once again, I am just going to glance you, just listen it once. So we come across the human digestive system, how the food is going to be taken throughout the stomach, okay, from the esophagus, and the food can be digested in a stomach with the help of exhale as well as a pepsin and helpful to soften the food. So remaining food can be moved into the smaller intestine. The smaller intestine release enzymes called digestive or intestinal enzymes or intestinal juices. Okay, that is helpful to digest more the remaining food in the stomach as well as small intestine. So there is a kinds of enzymes are present in the smaller intestine mainly, so called as liver. Liver is a part of the human body. So liver is secretes a juice called bile juice as well as bile salt. The bile salt is helpful to emulsify the salts. So emulsifies the fats in a body. Okay. And then the trypsin. The trypsin is also helpful to digest the proteins in your body. And then lipase is an enzyme which is helpful to breaking the proteins again, which is also called as emulsifying fats. Moreover, the smaller intestine is a splinter muscles, expandable muscles. How like your stomach will be consumed or receive different kinds of foods. like give you several kinds of spaces. You can able to eat morning, afternoon, evening. Even your stomach is very good digestive. Hence it should be act as a very good machinery like a mixing. Okay. And then next, now we talked about herbivorous as well as carnivorous. So herbivorous is nothing but what? The plant eating animals. So herbivorous having a longer what? Longer small intestine, and carnivorous have a smaller long intestine. So with all these we understood the digestive system and what are the functions of enzyme present in your body. So hope you all guys understand. Shall I go on to ask the question? Can ask me any doubts. Let you can clarify your doubts. Yes? Any doubts regarding this today digestive system? Okay, tell me what is the functions of small intestine? What is the functions of small intestine? Yes? Functions of HCl present in stomach.
It makes the food smooth and it makes the food material smooth.
Into from complex materials into smaller materials. Okay, and not only that, it's helpful to make the soften. Okay, which makes the food as soften and smoother. Okay, next, while there is a smaller intestine present in carnivorous and longer, smaller intestine present in herbivorous. So 2 marks question. Yes. Yes, if it is wrong also no problem, I'll correct yourself. Because herbivorous, what is the food which is taken? Herbivorous, cellulose. Okay? Because herbivorous is difficult to digest the cellulose, hence it is having a longer, smaller intestine. But carnivorous, it is very easy to digest meat, hence which is having a smaller intestine. Okay? So hope you all understand. So thank you so much. Please all of you go to this diagrams. From coming next class, all of you have drawn these diagrams and practice it yourself. Okay? If I am asking you to draw the diagrams on spot, you should draw it and show me. Okay? So you must know this. So how many marks you are getting from this topic, you know? The diagram is 2 marks. The enzyme they are going to be asking for 2 marks. Okay? Give reasons, herbivorous and carnivorous. That is going to be asking for 2
करे
marks.
देते
So
हैं
3 plus 2 is how much? 3 plus 2 plus 2. How many marks? How many marks you will getting? 3 plus 2 plus 2.
7.
My God.
7.
Yes. So 7 marks is a very easy if you study well. Okay. So thank you so much. The next class we are just move on to the topics respiration. Okay. So read it before coming to my class. Thank you so much. Thank you one and all. Keep on studying science.
ओके मैम